my channel Avanti Morocha. In this video I will compare the new Cricut Maker 3 versus Cricut Maker. Now let's begin. You won't see significant difference in the appearance between these machines. This is Cricut Maker 3, it has the name Cricut in front. And this is Cricut Maker. I'm going to show you some of the difference. Cricut Maker 3 has guides for smart materials. These are going to help to guide the material without a mat. Cricut Maker doesn't have these guides. This means you can use smart materials with this machine without a mat. You also won't be able to use the roll holder accessory with this machine. To connect the roll holder to your machine, you'll use these guides. This accessory is only compatible with Explorer 3 and Maker 3. Another minimal difference is the change of the graphic for the load and start buttons. The most significant changes are the ones that we can see, and they are related to the technology of the machine. Cricut Maker 3 has been redesigned to work with smart materials, allowing you to make continuous cuts without using a mat. When using Cricut Maker, you need to use a mat. If you want, you could use smart materials, but regardless, you need to use the mat. Cricut Maker 3 max single image length is 12 feet, equivalent to 3.75 meters when using smart materials. Cricut Maker max single image length is 2 feet, equivalent to 0.59 meters and requires a large mat. Cricut Maker 3 is 2 times faster than Cricut Maker and Cricut Explorer 2 in fast mode when using smart materials with a speed of 8 inches per second. It has an acceleration of 100 IPS when using smart materials without a mat and 20 IPS acceleration when cutting materials with a mat. Cricut Maker cut a speed of 4 IPS with an acceleration of 20 IPS. Both machines are compatible with more than 300 materials. When you are not using smart materials on Cricut Maker 3, you will need to use a mat. Both machines have the print and Cad Capability on white and color materials. Remember, these are cutting machines. You need to have an inkjet printer to use this feature. Both machines use the application Design Space, however, Design Space will adjust available options such as tools, material cut settings, and material load options based on your machine selection. Both machines are compatible with 13 tools. Now I'm going to cut this design in Cricut Maker 3 and Cricut Maker to test the speed. As you can see, I'm using Cricut Maker 3. Click on Make It. Since I'm using a Smart Vinyl, I will choose the option Without Mat. Continue. Select the material. I'm using a Smart Vinyl Removable. I have already loaded the fine point blade and now I will load the material. I have the same design in another window and I will send it to cut using Cricut Maker. Click on Make It. As you can see, you will need to use a mat. Continue. Select the material. When using Cricut Maker, you won't find the settings for smart materials, but you could use the vinyl settings to cut a smart vinyl. I have already loaded the fine point blade. Now I will load the mat. For this speed test, I will use a Smart Vinyl in both machines. I will place this piece of Smart Vinyl in my Maker 3. The smallest size of smart material you can use without a mat is 13 by 6 inches, equivalent to about 33 by 15 centimeters. When using Cricut Maker with this material, I'll need to use a mat. The width of a smart material is 13 inches, so I'll need to cut 1 inch to fit my mat. I load the piece of Smart Vinyl in Cricut Maker 3. Now I'll load the mat with the Smart Vinyl in Cricut Maker. I'll send it to Cad at the same time to compare the speed. You'll notice that Cricut Maker is the first one to start cutting, but just after a couple more seconds, you'll notice the acceleration of Cricut Maker 3. I fast forwarded this part of the video. The process of cutting this design took 1 minute 20 seconds using Cricut Maker 3. The process to cut this design with Cricut Maker took an extra minute. Using Cricut Maker 3 and Smart Materials, you are going to save time. If you are using a Cricut Maker, it doesn't have too much sense to use a Smart Material. No matter what you are using, it requires a mat. Before starting the weeding, I'll remove any extra material that I can use in another project. This Smart Vinyl is easy to weed. I finished weeding both pieces. As you can see, the results are the same. The main difference is the time. If you are using Cricut Maker 3 and a Smart Material, you are going to save a lot of time. If you frequently work with adhesive vinyl and iron-on, but you want the flexibility of cutting thicker materials, Cricut Maker 3 is a good option. If the speed of Cricut Maker 3 is what you like the most, remember you'll need to use Smart Materials. Keep in mind, Cricut Maker is still a fantastic machine. I hope you like this video and it helps you to decide which machine best fits your needs. If you are interested in any of these machines, I'm going to share the links where you can buy them in the info box below the video. If you are new to my channel and you like what you see, hit the subscription button, tap the notification bell so you get informed every time I release a new video. Don't forget to visit my blog, follow me on my social media, like this video and share it with your loved ones. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.